Whenever I get twisted and I'm having a bad day, from now on, I'm just going to pull up the Jadakiss highlights from the Verzuz battle. That's going to get you going. That's the motivating factor.
Come on, man. I'm outside.
Whenever you hear that MVP chant, you already know what's the deal. It's the most valuable podcast in the world.
Yes, sir.
The Hitmen Podcast. Yeah. What's good? What's the word? Chris checking in. My partner Mo. What's the word, bro? How you feeling?
Bro, I was about to come on here and tell you that I'm feeling like Jadakiss after a Verzuz battle, bro. Feeling healthy, feeling strong. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like I can't be beat. I can't be touched. Hey, man. Nah, man. I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling amazing, Joe. How you feeling?
Man, I'm cool, bro. It's been a bunch of ups and downs. Like, that was an incredible night. We're going to get off into it, but
yeah.
Had a real long weekend. Shout out to our brother Phil. Went to his 90s birthday party. That shit was lit.
What up, boy?
I got heckled by the police early. I was on my way to pick up some. I got something new, you know what I'm saying? Something regular, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? I got another one. Dog.
Slight flex.
I got another one, dog.
Yo, on the topic of PS5s, while you just, humbly flexed your PS5, I saw a report that PlayStation, they released a statement saying they had sold like 10 million consoles in the US. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So how do you have to feel knowing that, 10 million consoles were sold in the US and you one of these cats still trying to get one? Because I see people still trying to get one. And I'm not going to put your business out there, but it sounds like you just keep coming up and you keep getting lucky days.
I'm going to do it like Tony Kukoc. I don't know. Phil called a lot of plays for me with this season, and it just worked out. I don't know, man. I just be getting lucky, bro. I ain't never really won much in my life. I ain't win raffles and contests and stuff like that when I was younger. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I think this is the fifth one. Fourth, fifth one. I think we might do a giveaway. I don't know.
No, I thought you only had like 3. This boy said 5. Oh man, yeah, we might have to do something with that for sure.
I mean, I don't know, dog. I don't own a
PS5, bro. I don't own this PS5, and it's by choice. It's by choice.
You anti?
Like, nah, I was just like, I was getting to this point where I'm like, man, I'm not playing video games no more. I'm done with that. But I just had a revelation, like, probably like in the last 2 weeks, like, damn, I definitely miss turning on the game. And I got consoles here, but I'm like, I'm old, man. I need a new one now. So, I might be talking to you on the side after we get done about, possibly, putting that PS5 up for auction.
Take care of the shipping. We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You're
a stand-up guy.
But otherwise, man, I've been cool. It's just a bunch of up and downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. It was a real good weekend, and I had a crazy ass morning, bunch of running around and stuff to do.
You said you got hassled by the police. Let's stop that. What?
I mean, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Long hair, beard, you feel me? Successful, you feel me? Handsome, all that. Man. You dig what I'm saying? You know how I go.
Okay.
You know how I go. So,
okay. All right, say less.
Whatever. But I made it alive to the podcast. That's the most important thing.
There you go, man. We here now.
And then
that's all that matters.
A couple of things happened, bro. Like, I know you was looking at the notes when I sent you. You was like, Bob the Bicycle, man. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, man. What's that, bro?
So
I didn't even ask.
So Bobby the Bike Man, like when I was a shorty, like he's like the dude in the neighborhood, like he fixed everybody's bikes. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if your chain slip or like you got a busted tire or whatever, like you take it to Bob the Bike Man, and he all right, give me a couple of days, I'll fix it. He ain't never charged nothing, ain't want nothing. He just liked bikes, like. That was his thing. I don't know if he was like a Tour de France athlete when he was younger or whatever. Don't nobody really know his history. Long story short, I ain't seen him in Hellas, but I was running the other day working out, and I seen him. He in a walker now. I'm like, damn, Bob the Bike Man in a walker, bro. Like, that's crazy. So it was just one of them things where like life started to move a little fast, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit because I was like, damn, like he too good of a dude. He too good of a good Samaritan to be in a walker. Like, damn, he down there 1 foot in the grave. You feel me?
Unfortunately, but he's still living. But unfortunately, that's how life goes, man. Life goes on and you get older and everybody got their time, and you know we gonna all grow old. We gonna be in Walker. God willing, I'll be in a Walker. You know, God willing, I'll be in a Walker. God willing, I'll be alive at his age. Still, you know what I'm saying, enjoying life and living life to the best that I can. But no, like I seem like every neighborhood got the bike dude. We had a dude named, shout out to Paul. I don't know where Paul at now, but Paul was a dude. He lived right down the street from me. Paul used to get us right, broken inner tubes, putting mags on our tires, doing all that stuff.
Your pegs break off because you know you used to always get somebody a ride. Your pegs break off. He got the perfect tool to fix it. So man. He'd be like, give me 20 minutes, come back. You know what I'm saying? He'll get us right, tighten up our brakes, all that stuff. You know, hey, bike life was a real thing before we had whips. Like, man, I mean, I don't know. We might not have no younger viewers, but you know, bikes was the way to get around. That's the only way we got around. We used to go outside. Back when kids used to
go outside and ride bikes. And you only knew where everybody was at because everybody's bike was in the front yard. That's when you knew the house that everybody was at. So, good times, man. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Paul, man. Taking care of us when we was younger, for sure.
We appreciate y'all tapping in with us each and every time we do it. Want y'all to know that we everywhere that podcasts live. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, all of that. Make sure y'all hit us up in the mailbag. We actually got a mailbag we're going to get into today.
Ooh, yes, sir.
Y'all can check us out. Y'all know where we at, the Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. Always hit us up on the socials at the Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Mo_Sal1.
To this day.
Before we get off into the show, man, let me ask you something.
What up?
So, I was talking to my shorty about this. Like, the concept of being a nosy shopper. Because I was... You know, I'm trying to get back to working out for real. Like, for real. Okay. Not just BS about it. But I was in the store, you know what I'm saying, trying to get situated with the smoothies and the food and all of that. And I noticed, like, I'm a nosy shopper and people around me are nosy shoppers. So, like, I'm guilty of, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I go down the aisle, if I go past the aisle and I see some gray leggings, like, it don't matter. It don't matter what's down that aisle. You feel me? If it's gray leggings, I'm going to create a reason. I'm going to invent a reason to go back down the aisle. Because gray leggings is gray leggings. Not black leggings, not navy blue leggings. Gray leggings always do it.
You talking about like leggings on like just hanging on the rack? What you talking about?
Yes,
bro. I'm confused. What you talking about, bro?
Women in black women in gray leggings. We're color blocking on this episode.
All right. Okay.
And so, like, I was talking to her about it. I'm like, yeah, so anyway, I'm shopping. You dig what I'm saying? And I was getting like the fruit and stuff to go to the smoothies, whatever. So I'm reaching down to get something out of one of the freezer, like one of the freezer aisles. And all of a sudden I hear, excuse me. I look up like, damn, what's going on? This lady in my face with a card, like, yo, we just opened a smoothie bar down the street. Come check us out. Why would I need this card? First of all, that's illegal. You can't even solicit in the store, no way. But why are you even in my face with this card? But it's because she was looking at my cart, seeing what I had in my cart, right? Then I went down another aisle and I was getting something. I think I was getting ginger or something. And someone was like, ooh, somebody eats healthy. And it was this chick and she had on gray leggings. So I looked and I was like, all right, but why she in my cart though? So I'm like, I got to thinking, like, imagine if I was shopping and I had like tampons, you feel me, in my cart. And somebody that was nosy or trying to be like on the kid or whatever, like, damn, I want to try to talk to him, but he got tampons. I mean, he got a girl at home. Or like if I had a cart full of diapers, they're gonna be like, damn, he got a baby already, but like, damn, should I still try to talk to him? Maybe the mama ain't around. I don't know. In any case, I was gonna ask you, like, have you ever felt like it was a nosy shopper on you? You feel what I'm saying? Like, perfect example. When we was in Vegas, right? We went to Vegas for 4th of July weekend, and we was going to get some liquor. And my man's was like, he was trying to sell some cologne in the parking lot. I'll let you tell the story.
Okay,
I'll let you tell the story. Go ahead. But he was a nosy shopper, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell you. There's some things where you kind of like, all right, I didn't know the conversation was going here first and foremost, but this is interesting. The gray leggings thing, I never, like, this is a thing that I've never even, nope, I promise you, I ain't never even thought about this till now. And I'm thinking like, have I done that before? I don't think so. But let's talk about nosy shoppers, right? I've been a nosy shopper, but not in the ways, not like looking at somebody's cart to see what they buying. I think that's just like I don't know. In a sense, it's kind of weird. But if you soliciting, it's smart, right? Yeah, I think the lady is smart. If she's trying to get a customer to buy like these smoothies and she see your cart and you got all these fresh fruits and all of this stuff in there, then it's smart for her to come. Now, it's illegal, but it's smart, right? It's smart. All right, cool. I'm with that. But I'm more nosy because I'm just trying to stay safe. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, you can't trust nobody. So when I'm shopping, I'm really normally looking through the aisles, like, and I like to shop with my headphones in. I like to play my music because I don't. Sometimes I'll just leave my headphones in, actually, just so nobody will bother me and come up to me and talk to me. You should try that one time.
I did. I had my headphones in. It didn't phase them one bit. She tapped me all like, excuse me. God damn.
Well, that's unfortunate, but it normally works for me. But honestly, I'm always looking to make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's because I can't trust the shopper to the left, to the right, behind me, in front of me. I just can't trust them. So normally I'm looking for that. And like, I like to people watch. So outside of going grocery shopping, I like to people watch. I'll go out and people watch because I think individuals are just funny. People do funny stuff, like not to rag on them or anything. People just are just funny to me. So I'm always watching for just to see some funny stuff. And I'm not a type of person to pull out their phone, like record, but I see so much recordable shit when I'm out. I'm like, yo, so yeah, I'm nosy in that regard, man. Cause I'm like, yo, I see so many world star moments. I see so many viral moments that could go viral if I pull out my phone right now, but that's normally why I'm being nosy, not to see what's in somebody's cart because I ain't paying for it. So
it's hard to not though. So point? Like I seen this dude. I was in the grocery store like 2 weeks ago, and he in the grocery store screaming in the phone, arguing with somebody. Well, fuck you too, then. And he got teddy bears and eggs and like Pampers in his cart. So I'm like, oh, he's a gangster.
He arguing with a side piece.
He's a gangster in the flower aisle. You feel what I'm saying? On the phone with his girl. She probably don't even know where he at right now. She probably don't even know what he's shopping for. He probably was for the buy
most people go shopping to get on the phone. They actually talk like that. People can't be themselves talk in the house. Like I know some people that just, some people get in the car, take a car drive, and that's when they get on the phone. And some people probably use, shopping as a form of therapy. And they go out and they get whatever feelings they got to get off on the phone in the store, and they don't care who see it. And, hey, shit, it is what it is. Live your life, player. This is a crazy topic, bro.
Leave the comments down here. Make sure y'all subscribe. We on YouTube, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Put the comments down here. Let me know how y'all feel about the gray leggings and nosy shopping.
Yes, sir.
With no further ado, we're gonna get off into it. I got more week already.
We got some sports to talk about, man. This is funny, man. We went off on a tangent.
Nosy shopping is a sport.
It's probably nosy shoppers.
It's probably an Olympic sport for real. But we're gonna get off into it. Sorry, we kept
go ahead and get off into it. I'm glad you talked about the Olympics. We're gonna talk about something later.
Woo Wop Da Bams.
Woo Wop Da Bams. You know what? This is how we're gonna start it off since we coming off a massacre. You feel me? This is how we're gonna start with the music. You dig what I'm saying? So we going with the Olympics. We're going with the NBA. Where you want to go with it first, bro? What's up with it?
I want to just talk about the Verzuz battle real quick.
All right, Cam, you live in Miami, Cam. You live in Miami, Cam.
I would be wrong to not start this talking about the LOX versus Dipset battle. Bro. When they first announced it, I thought that it was this was everything I imagined it to be, right? We are both hip hop fans. We study hip hop. We, go on it. We listen to all different type of artists. But the LOX and Dipset, that was our era, especially Dipset, especially what Dipset did for the culture. So for us to see that battle and for us to see that was to me like 1990s, like the middle in Brooklyn or Harlem, like two MCs going at it, but it just happened to be two groups. Word. We never been there, but if I had to imagine it, that's what it looked like on that Verzuz, right? Word. And so shout out to Dipset, shout out to the LOX. It was a very entertaining Verzuz, but man, shout out to Jadakiss, man. He was the MVP. He put up 90 points, 35 rebounds, 87 assists, went 100% from the free throw line. I mean, man, he did his thing, man. And so many viral moments, so many timeless moments in that battle. I'm going to choose not to remember Dipset in that manner because if that was your first time ever being introduced to Dipset, based on that battle, you might think that them boys ain't shit. But don't do that. Dipset had records. Dipset is one of the top hip hop groups of all time, and they need to be respected as such. But that Verzuz night was Jada's night in the LOX. They just showed them. It was a masterclass.
So I listened to Joe Budden and them, and they basically broke the whole thing down. The LOX is killers. I forgot. I didn't pick Dipset, but like he said, bro, they trained assassins. They was not. And then when it comes to the Battle of New York, yo, why all of a sudden the first time people get to go outside, why does Verzuz all of a sudden take URL's job? Like, do we really need that scene anymore? Because they pretty much did the battle rap better than the battle rap, the top of the battle rap industry. That looked like a high stakes URL battle for real.
The stage setup, the crowd setup, everything that looked like a straight up. You are right about that, but it's only certain names that's gonna bring that out. That's gonna bring that type of love, that type of energy out. The LOX and Dipset is bringing that type of energy out. You see Mello in the building, Fab in the building, Fat Joe. Hey, Fat Joe recap of this battle. If you have not seen it, go to his IG. His recap of this battle is everything. He puts you right there. If you close your eyes and listen to Fat Joe talk about this battle, you will be right in Madison Square Garden at the LOX Dipset battle. So it's amazing, man. I just want to recap on that real quick because I thought it was.
Did you see
one of the best things I've seen in hip hop?
Did you recap the chicks though that got caught in the bathroom that was coming out of the stall? You didn't see that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, Bobby, you didn't see it?
Explain it.
Oh my God. So it was a clip. Shout out to What's the Word TV, Cody Mack, what up? Corley, what up? Everybody was in the bathroom at the Garden, like in the men's bathroom. Like, you know, it was a New York situation. Shooting dice, niggas in there blowing it down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then all of a sudden you see these two like bad females, like these joints just walk out of a bathroom stall and like try to like hurry up and get back to the arena. So they like, oh, we on that? That's what y'all on in here? And the whole bathroom went crazy. Look at how that sounds.
The whole bathroom.
But only
in New York, man.
You know what they was in there doing. Why y'all in?
That ain't my business. That ain't my business. Shout out to New York. I love New York. I can't wait to get back out there. I think I'm gonna be out there soon for they got Governor's Ball going out there in a couple months. So I'm gonna go out there and check that out. But shout out to New York. Y'all put on for Verzuz for sure.
Yeah, man. Epic night. Sorry that the LOX brought the Dipset headstone out there though, because it was downhill from song 2 on through there.
Song 1. When he said, "You don't even live in New York, you live in Miami,"
and kicked it off with,
I was like,
Ric Flair.
Yeah, man. Legendary night. If you a hip hop fan too, that was just the essence right there. So, shout out to both groups.
Speaking of legendary nights, the Olympics officially closed down. Closing ceremonies ended the other day. Shout out to all of the Olympians. Shout out to all of the brave men and women that went out and put on for their countries. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Pretty much seemed like it went off without a hitch. There was no bomb threats, no super spreader COVID cases. And it seemed like for the most part, everything went off without a hitch. Tokyo was a gracious host, but what we came to see, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Bam out of Buyout, you feel me? Zach LaVine, Dame Lillard, they took home the gold. El Oro.
They did it.
Feel what I'm saying?
They did it,
They defeated
man.
France. They defeated France in the gold medal game. Kevin Durant led the way for the United States Olympians to win the gold medal. I think this is the third straight?
This is Kevin Durant's third gold medal. I mean, shout out to Kevin Durant, because I'm not going to say it's hard to say what would have happened if he wasn't there. But I would take a good guess to say that they probably would have got the silver medal or worse. Kevin Durant put on, man. He showed why he is KD. Remember in that interview a few years ago when he looked at the reporter and said, "You know my name? You know what my name is?" That's KD, and he proved that he is. I mean, a lot of people will say that he's the best basketball player in the game today. I'm not going to argue that. You can go between him or Giannis. I'm personally going to pick KD. And he showed why. He could score at every level. There's nothing you can really do with KD. You just hope he have an off night. And in the championship game, what did he have? Drop another 29. So in every closing game, every gold medal game that he's played in, which is 3 of them, he's averaged 30 points a game.
He's not an all-time scoring leader for the U.S. national team. Is he all-time Olympian? All-time in the Olympics or just all-time United States?
All-time USA scoring leader. And that record will not be broken. That record will not be broken. And if he plays in the next Olympics 4 years from now, it definitely wouldn't. I don't think that ever gets broke. It's just it's a testament to a dude who's a bona fide scorer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give him his credit. Give the other guys their credit too. Give the first-time Olympians their credit. Jrue Holiday. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all watching the Olympics, if y'all was able, because the games came on late at night. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 in the morning. Except for the championship. You know what I'm saying? Except for the championship game. But even if you watch that championship game, my goodness, Jrue Holiday put the clamps on whoever he was guarding. He put on a class of how to defend. Like, he wasn't using his hands. He was just sliding to the spot and beating his man to the spot every single time. He was causing all havoc on the court. So even though the USA wasn't really scoring like that, they was getting the bulk of their scoring from Kevin Durant. On the defensive end, Jrue Holiday set the tone by far. So you got to give him credit. Give first-time Olympians like Devin Booker some credit. Give Damian Lillard some credit, even though he missed 2 crucial free throws in the clutch that almost made the game, interesting.
He didn't play well, though. He didn't play well the entire Olympics. He showed heart, but you could tell the rule changes, the lack of calling like American fouls, it started to take a huge toll on his game. He wasn't really effective, which was surprising to me. I thought that with his long range shooting and his ability to kind of spread the floor a little bit more was going to do wonders for him. And instead it went the other way. But still, all the same, salute to him for showing up every night.
Absolutely, salute. With Dame, the thing that makes Dame great is flair, right? His ability to pull up from 30, 40 feet. When you playing with other great players, that's not necessary. It's just not.
True. True.
And in the Olympics, it's almost a sign of disrespect. I would take it, right? This is a game of sportsmanship when you come into the Olympics. You're not really trying to show up your opponent. You're going to play to the best of your ability, but you're not really trying to show them up ridiculously crazy. So he's not pulling up from 40 there. And he's playing a different role here. Damian Lillard, out of all the guys on that team, has never really had to sacrifice in his career, if you look at it. Damian Lillard has always been the one-man show, even in Portland, even with CJ there. He's the one-man show. So you got to come here where you got to he had to sacrifice his game. And it showed a little bit. Dame Lillard, don't get it twisted. He's still Dame. He just had to sacrifice. So it was a little different for him there. Bam Adebayo played great. He played great defense. He played his role. Draymond Green was the unsung hero to me. We all get on Draymond about not scoring. He did all the little things for Team USA for them to win this gold medal. So, and they let people know about it. They hopped on the live. They chastised everybody, including probably us, that said they probably wouldn't win the gold medal. Rightfully so. If we gonna talk it, we got to hear it when they win it. So, salute to them, shout to them. And I think that in 2024, we'll have a better class. Hopefully Steph, comes out the trees and comes and plays. He's going to be off of making $58 million a year. So, I mean, damn. We're going to get into it. Might as well, jump out. So we'll have, I think there'll be more star power in 2024. But for what they had and the conditions that they had to go under with the whole COVID and the season, the NBA season ended so late and them having people drop off like Bradley Beal, salute to them for winning, and salute to JaVale McGee. Got a gold medal. He came and got a gold medal, and now he's the first son-mother duo with his mother, Pam, who won a gold medal for the USA women's basketball team back in the 70s. I don't have the exact date, but they are the first son and mother duo to win gold medals. So shout out to them.
Zach LaVine was playing dominant defense. I don't know why they thought good. I don't know why they thought Luka was gonna be a one-man show and get to the finals, but
he almost.
But he did his thing too, and he walked away with I would say something better than a gold medal in some circles. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but not to be outdone. The women's side of the fence, the women's Olympic basketball team, I think they won a 7th straight gold medal led by Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, Asia Wilson, and others. So salute to Legends. USA basketball all the way around, going Legends. Out to Tokyo, taking care of business.
7 straight gold medals.
Unmatched.
Haven't lost a game in that span in the Olympics.
Shout out to Brittany Griner games. Too.
Yo, shout out to Taurasi, Sue Bird, probably the last Olympics for sure. Legends in the game of basketball, not just in the Olympics, but in the game of the whole entire sport of women's basketball. Shout out to them. Women's basketball is the biggest dynasty in the world. The United States women's basketball is the biggest dynasty in the world. Probably the best we've probably ever seen. So shout out to them.
Watch the WNBA. Watch more hooping. That's where it's at. For real, for real. Nigga. Stupid. Shout out to Allison Felix as well. I think she won her 10th.
11. She got 10 and 11. 10 broke the record.
So she broke Carl Lewis. Was it Carl Lewis record, right?
Yep. She's the most decorated track and field athlete of all time.
Crazy.
Amazing. Shout out to Allison Felix.
Man. Do you got the medal count? Do you know how many we took home gold-wise? I don't really care about silver and bronze. I mean, you know. I mean, a medal is a medal in the Olympics. So I'll break it down, though. The U.S. ended up taking a total of 113 medals home. 39 being gold, 41 silver, 33 bronze. Not too shabby. Second was China. They came in with 88 total medals, but they had 38 gold medals, one behind the U.S. So, I think that's pretty dope. Japan came in third with a total of 58. And then you had Great Britain with 65. And we got a few more countries here, but those would be the ones to be noted. Do you know what? Did we ever figure out what the Olympics going to be in the next 4 years? Or is it 3 years? I'm confused now. It's Paris? Is it 2024 or is it going to be 2025?
It's 2024. They still on schedule for 2024, and then LA 2028. That's gonna be something. You gotta try to find a way to get there.
We in there like wet booty hell. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get off in the free agency. Y'all know what y'all came to see. That was just the appetizer. Shout out to Olympians. But let's get back to reality. A bunch of moving and shaking over the past couple of days, man.
A lot of money.
Where you want to start? You want to start with the collusion that didn't get fined? You want to start with the super team theory still popping, or you want to give everybody they turn? What's up? Where you want to go with it first?
Let's go ahead and start with a couple. I'm not gonna call them small free agent signings. These are decent free agent signings. Let's talk about the Nets. The Nets went ahead and locked down Blake Griffin. He signed back on for another year and give it another try.
Nice.
And but more importantly, they picked up Patty Mills, sharpshooter. Did his things for Australia in the Olympics and went and signed a contract with the Nets. So he'll be teamed up with that 3-headed monster, KD, Kyrie, James Harden, and now you got a sharpshooter that you can't leave open in the corner, but you can't also leave these 3 dudes open. So somebody got to eat, right? The rich get richer. So Patty Mills goes there. What you think about that?
Strong guard play, a solid backup for Kyrie or James Harden, whoever you consider the point guard of the team, and then you can play 3 guard sets, 4 guard sets if you want to bring Kevin Durant in there. So a small ball 5. They're going to put up a lot of shots. They're going to have probably the number 1 offense in the league. And they're going to make it look real easy. Patty Mills is a killer. I like Blake Griffin coming back. Give him a chance to actually get healthy and give it one more go-round. I saw rumors, I don't know if it was a rumor, but they got a quote from LaMarcus Aldridge saying that his condition stabilized. He's thinking about coming back. Stay your ass at home, bro. We good. We good.
Hey, man. You know what? His health is number 1.
For sure. That's what I mean.
I would want him to be healthy. Yeah. No, I know. You got a different way of saying things. It's all in love, though. That's all I love. But no, man, his health is number one, man. If you jeopardizing your health, like you said, Chris, stay home. You know, we don't want to see anything bad happen or nothing like that. So hopefully he's getting the right attention. He's getting evaluated in the right way, and he's going about checking all the boxes to make sure if he is coming back that he's fully 100% healthy. Word. So that's cool with that. Now going back to the Nets. Now, when KD went to the Warriors, I was like, yo, this offense is like crazy. Gonna be the best offense of all time. I'm here to now scratch that and say that this next upcoming year, we might see the best offensive display on a basketball court that we have ever seen at one time. I'm just putting that on the table. I don't know what that means because last year I was laughing when they got together and said, yo, these dudes going to default score 120 points a game. They did that. They pretty much did that, right? But they all didn't even play at the same time. They only played 9 games together. And they did that, right? They get a whole summer under their belt. They get training camp. They get healthy. Everybody's feeling good. Everybody's gelling. Yo, we might have to push that up. They might average upwards of 125 points a game.
They got to stay healthy, though. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, if they healthy, I don't see the night. I see on most nights them scoring 125 or more. And then on bad nights, they scoring about 110. I mean, damn. Like, I just don't see how they don't score 125 points a night. This is going to be the greatest display of offense we probably ever seen at one time.
Did they let DeAndre Jordan go?
No, they kept him. Reports was saying that he was supposed to be, they wanted to add him in that deal for Spencer Dinwiddie, but because he has such strong relationships with the big three, with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie, they were able to convince them to keep him. So DeAndre Jordan will be there, and they need him. They don't have no size up front. So he'll be needed there.
Spencer Dinwiddie, speaking of, he ended up signing a deal with the Washington Wizards. Obviously, that instantly makes him a focal point, an extreme focal point in that offense, teaming him up with Bradley Beal. He was supposed to be a stabilizing force. He was essentially going to get Patty Mills' spot on the Nets, but he goes to Washington, who made the playoffs due to the play-in tournament that they bring him back. So that's a leg up for the Wizards. Chicago Bulls, the hometown Chicago Bulls, they made some moves, man. Starting off, they went ahead and got Lonzo, picked him up for $85 million. They also turned around and got DeMar DeRozan along with Alex Caruso to round out the guard play, and they added Ayo in the draft. So bunch of guards, a tremendous shot in the arm in terms of trying to get them some talent to make them in the hunt for a playoff spot. You know how I feel about DeMar DeRozan, but I want to get your thoughts on the pickups before I get my 2 cents.
I love the pickups. I love what the Bulls are doing. First, before I even get into the pickups, it feels damn good to have a front office who is competent, who knows what they want to do, a vision, and they're making competent moves. I'm looking at the moves like, this makes sense. Yes, this makes sense. Every move they're making, this makes sense. So shout out to the general manager of the Bulls, Mark Eversley. And then you definitely got to shout out our tours. And I don't want to mess up his last name, but Carney Zofas. Yeah. So shout out to them. They're doing a great job. Word. They're retooling this team. They're making sure that, like we were always for the last, I want to say 10 years, the Bulls have been in this rebuilding process, holding on to players too long, then getting rid of players and saying we rebuilding again, then picking up Jimmy Butler and D Wade, and then saying we're trying to go for it, but at the same time rebuild. Then let's let all of them go. And so for us to be in that process of rebuilding, it seems like now we're out of that rebuilding phase, and now the next step is, all right, playoffs. This team is a playoff team. So let's get into the roster. Lonzo Ball, coming off one of his best seasons shooting the basketball. And is only getting better. He's only going to get better. He retooled that jump shot, that motion now should seem like muscle memory to him now. So that jump shot is only going to get better. He comes into a situation in Chicago, which to me is a situation for him to flourish, to really get people involved, get Zach LaVine involved, get the rookies involved. I just really like that pickup for them, first and foremost. I know you think that there's too many guards, so let's get to that, right? You pick up DeMar DeRozan. So now you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Zach LaVine, and you got Lonzo Ball, right? You also have Kobe White. And then they did pick up, who else were the other? Was that the other guards? What
Alex Caruso, Kobe White.
Oh, Alex Caruso. Okay, so you have that group of guards, right?
Right.
And I know you immediately text me like, yo, this is too many guards. What are they doing? And I've seen some other people express the same sentiments. Yo, this makes the Bulls versatile. I don't know where y'all getting this too many guards thing. It is a guard game. It makes them versatile. DeMar DeRozan can play a little bit of point guard. He did it in San Antonio last year. He can play shoot guard. DeMar DeRozan can even play small forward. He does not have to play the two guard. Zach LaVine, he can play point guard. He was playing point guard last year for a little bit. Then he played shooting guard. So he can be versatile. Alex Caruso can play point or shooting guard. You could throw him in a lineup at small forward because he's just a defender. He's defensive minded. He's going to get after it and is going to make life tough on guards in this league. You got Kobe White. He's going to be your point guard because of his height, but he can shoot the ball too. There's a lot of versatility. There's a lot of different lineups you could throw out there. It's exciting to me. It's exciting for me to see because we're not really our big men. Yeah, we have
Vucevic.
Go ahead. This is where I always mess up the name, but
Vucevic.
We got Vucevic. We got Vucevic, right? But then outside of Vucevic, we're not really strong with big men. So we can't not have not enough big men and then not enough guards. We got to do something. So I think that allows us to get out and run. This team should be out running on every fast break. They should be an exciting team. Lonzo gonna be out there throwing fruit. I'm excited, bro. I don't know. Don't be stuck too much on, yo, we got too many guards. I think that this makes the team on paper right now. If I was in Chicago, if I was living there, I would be looking up season ticket packages. I would be going to as many games as possible because it's going to be
DeRozan.
Yeah, bro. Are you serious? Yeah.
Yo, him and Zach LaVine do the same stuff. Like Zach LaVine is a much more athletic version of DeMar DeRozan. When DeMar DeRozan was hyper athletic, like obviously his mid-range game is there, but I don't like DeMar DeRozan, bro. He's soft, bro. He don't got no heart, bro. He was in, huh?
Why you think that?
Bro, he was in press conference saying we can't beat LeBron. We just can't beat LeBron. You never say that as a competitor.
Because they couldn't. They
but
tried.
You never,
they
even
tried,
if that's the case, even if that's the case, let me calm down. Even if that's the case, you never admit that to the press, to the public. That's something that should fuel you, should drive you. Like, I want to beat this motherfucker. Like, he keep whooping us, sweeping us. I'm tired of it. You would never say that to the press. Not only that, bro, but he's gonna be the number 3, maybe number 4 option in the offense when he comes to Chicago. He's never been the number 3 or number 4 offense on any team. He was supposed to have been the best player in Toronto, and then that wasn't the case. Kyle Lowry was the best player, and then Kawhi Leonard came in and took over his spot. Then he was supposed to be the best, if not the second best player on the Spurs, and that wasn't the case because
he was the best player on the Spurs. He was the best player on the Spurs.
LaMarcus Aldridge was the one that got the All-Star nod. So if so facto, DeMar DeRozan was the second best player at best. He was never the best player for the Spurs. And then word around the campfire was he was on the phone with LeBron and them up until, you feel me? We talked about it last week. Up until they was like, yeah. Oh, Westbrook single? Are we on? Or Westbrook a free agent? Are we on? Or we get the trade? Are we on? And they just stopped returning his phone calls. So that lets you know, like, even though I like the progression, like the forward movement for the Bulls, like DeMar DeRozan, dog, like, and yeah, gave him $80 million though, $80 million.
Let me tell you this, Chris. $80 million in this market, where you saw Duncan Robinson get $90 million, where you seeing people like every day, like specialists just jumping up with $120 million contracts. 80 mil is very fair. And also more important, why get the front office and say, y'all are smart. This is smart moves. An $80 million contract now is a movable contract in any scenario.
It depends on the player, though. I'm not paying DeMar DeRozan $20 million across the board in the league.
I think that you got DeMar DeRozan. I think that you are really, I don't know. I think you're stuck kind of on his reputation of not being able to get it done in the East and not really looking at the totality of DeMar DeRozan and his game.
And not being healthy and not producing more than 20 something. He put up Joe Johnson numbers. Numbers. He's been fairly healthy throughout his whole career. I would say this about DeMar DeRozan. One, him and Zach LaVine aren't the same player. Athletically, you can compare them. But when you look at the game, two different Zach LaVine takes 1,000 more threes than DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is the mid-range monster. DeMar DeRozan attacks the basket more than Zach LaVine. And one thing that people have not seen, maybe because they don't watch San Antonio, because San Antonio doesn't get on TV a lot. DeMar DeRozan last year had a career high in assists. He was turned into a playmaker in San Antonio, a real bona fide playmaker. And so for me, I look at these things, right? And then you look at it like, oh, he was going to go to the Lakers. It showed me one thing just by him saying that he probably would have took $5 million to go to the Lakers. He's past that. He wants to win now. So if he wants to really win, he wants to contribute to a win. Lakers, but he took 20 from the Bulls. Like what?
Because money talks. Because money talks, and it's a great situation.
Take 5 from the Bulls.
No, not when you got 20 to give me. No, hell no. So like money talks, but at the same time, DeMar DeRozan is a different place in his career now, right, where he's focused. He just focused on being a winner. He's not focused on really being a star, being an all-star. He wants to win. And I think that's going to be great for Zach LaVine to see, because Zach LaVine is in this place where now he's an all-star. He just got a gold medal. He's going to be smelling himself a little bit, which is a good thing because we need that.
I don't know if that is a good thing. So on the one hand,
we need that.
On the one hand, you're right, because a lot of times we will see players that tap into going and playing for the Olympics or playing in FIBA, they elevate their game. One player that comes to mind for me is Andre Iguodala. When he started playing on those FIBA teams, his defense, I mean, he was always athletic from Philly and Denver, but when he tapped into playing for FIBA, when he went to Golden State, he just went back to Golden State. While we on the topic.
Ballhead Wade. You don't remember Ballhead Wade?
Oh, for sure.
When he came back from the Olympics, he went to another level. I think that Zach LaVine coming back is going to be a great thing for him because he's going to understand a little bit of what it takes now and how much focus you have to have, no matter, even if you're playing with superstars, you're playing with regular people, like regular players, how much focus you're going to need to actually get the job done.
This
and then
is
you bring
problem,
in vets like DeMar DeRozan, which is going to be great.
This is the problem, though, and we're going to move on after this. They bring DeMar DeRozan in at $20 million. What that tells me is Zach LaVine, you're not getting $200 million from us, bro. Like,
why not?
What you mean? Why not? DeMar DeRozan, for me, it feels like an insurance policy because if he goes crazy, they have no choice but to give him the money. But if he puts up numbers similar to last year and they don't make the playoffs or they get a first round out, I don't see them giving him max money because giving him max money doesn't put them in a position to make moves like they made this offseason, next offseason to continue building the team.
I agree. I agree with you on that point. I agree with you on there because Zach LaVine got to show improve this season that he could be a leader and elevate him. He's been an all-star. Now you got to elevate yourself to a status to where you're making your team win on a consistent basis, right? And so now it's going to be it's like put up and shut up time because he's also in negotiations for the contract extension, right? And he's been rumblings about him saying that he wants a fair contract. He wants to be paid what he's kind of owed.
He wants the max.
I mean, it's great. It's great pressure to have because you know that you're gonna get his best basketball this year, right? And if you know you're getting Zach LaVine's best basketball this year, you want to surround him with some players that can hoop. I'm looking at the market like, why wouldn't we get DeMar DeRozan? And you're right. Let's say Zach LaVine doesn't pan out and they want to trade him. They're gonna get great value for Zach LaVine. And guess what? You got DeMar DeRozan, who is no bum. He's not a bum at all. I don't know. DeMar DeRozan is not a bum, and you'll see. I can't wait. I think you'll be referring back to this episode and apologizing.
No, I think they're a playoff team. I think the moves that they made put them ahead of a handful of the teams that made the playoffs this year in the play-in and high seeding. I think they are at this point. I think they're the second best team in the division behind Milwaukee. I think they're better than Toronto. I think they're absolutely. They're obviously better than Charlotte. I think
that's what I don't know yet.
I think they're better than Washington. I think at this point they are a
strong six.
They're a week 5 strong 6.
Strong 6 seed. And they should not be in the play-in. They should not be in the play-in, but they probably find themselves there. They'll probably find themselves there, but they need to, if they fall into the 7th seed, but no playoffs this year, you can guarantee that a lot of them dreams for Zach LaVine he might get paid, but he might be out the door. Yeah. So it's playoff time for the Bulls. I love it.
While we on the subject of the Bulls, it's going to segue us right to the next set of free agents. We're talking about the Lakers, right? So there's a probe about Kyle Kuzma with a signing trade to the Wizards. And there's a probe about Lonzo Ball coming to the Bulls. But somehow, mystically, magically, it's cool for Russell Westbrook to sit down with AD and Bron at the crib. It's cool for Melo to sit down with Bron at the crib.
We boys. We cool like that. We could just sit down and talk. If basketball end up coming up, I mean,
putting the egos to the side comes up in point of conversation. That's just a talking point.
It's kind of funny. No, it was funny when I saw that. But then it brings up this because I knew, it's kind of like me playing my Jada. You remember when in the battle when he knew Joel's like, y'all ain't got no songs for the chicks, and then he already knew he was gonna say that, so he had a medley of like 2 minutes of songs for the chicks that they had. So I knew he was gonna do this. I knew he was gonna bring this argument.
The Lakers picked up Melo. They picked up Dwight Howard, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn.
Go ahead. I got a question for you after this.
Ken Bazemore. It's somebody else they copped too, right? Or is that everybody?
I mean, that's about it. That sounds about right. Okay. That sounds about right. That sounds like the people that's going to play. Okay. Wayne Ellington too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Right.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question.
What up?
We may have talked about this before, but I just want to ask you. We're on video now. So, we got somewhere to go watch this again.
We live? Are we live?
Is it?
All right, so I'm not going to cuss.
Why is it that basketball, NBA preferably, is the only sport where we talk about and shame athletes or shame teams for being quote unquote a super team? I have never heard this term applied in baseball. I've never heard it. And I'll have examples of if I was to apply it in baseball. Remember when the Yankees, which is one of my favorite teams, by the way, had A-Rod, Girardi, Jeter, Mariano Rivera. I mean, I could keep going. They were all on the same team. We never called them a super team. Called them a dynasty because they won, right? You got football. You can name the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith. Look at that defense with Charles Henry, Deion Sanders.
These are never drafted. Called them a super team. They were drafted. No. Deion Sanders came over from. Come on now.
But
he was old. But he was old by then.
See, but hold on. I'm making my point.
In baseball, there's no salary cap, so there's no way to regulate that.
But we never called them a super team. We call players, we call teams in the NBA, and I'm talking about all of it. We never started the super team talk until LeBron started winning with good players, by the way, which is not a thing that just happened. But why do we do that? Like, why do we do that? I just want to know your perspective on why we only apply super teams to NBA teams or basketball and not to any other sport.
I think it has a lot to do with the numbers. Basketball is 5 at a time on a team on the floor. When you talk about baseball, it's 9 on the in the infield and in the outfield. 11 for football. So it's like the numbers are spread. Like you can kind of create that argument can kind of weave in and out between offense and defense, whether it's football or baseball. But with basketball, the numbers are smaller. The money is much bigger when it comes to like the scale. So yeah, like I forgot what I was listening to, but it was a podcast where they were like, how would you feel about the salary cap being such that it only allowed the NBA to have one max contract instead of 2 or 3? That means it would be much more difficult for players to, I guess, say like, I want to go to LA or I want to go to Miami.
And that's my argument, Chris.
Because
that's my argument.
And it creates better competition because in the 90s, there was only one superstar per team. And it was kind of like you eat what you kill. But now that the salary cap has gone up, the TV money has gone up. I'm all for getting your money. Get paid for sure. But the thing is, like, how many people can live in LA, dog? Everybody can't play for the Lakers. Everybody can't play for the Clippers. You feel me?
Yeah, but look at it this way. So I'm glad you're making these points because in all these other sports, of course, football doesn't make as much as these other sports, right?
Right.
But these players still find a way to team up and be on the same team. I mean, look at the Bucks now. Look at the Bucks, bro. Look at the Bucks.
A lot of them signed one-year contracts, though.
Right? I know. And y'all calling the Lakers a super team, and other than AD and LeBron, and they just traded for Westbrook, all them guys on 1-year contract. But yet we're calling them super team. I understand. We call Brooklyn a super team. We call Brooklyn a super team. We call the Warriors a super team. We call the Heat a super team. Nobody in the 80s called Kareem, Magic, Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper. Nobody called them a super team. Nobody called Bird. Nobody called Bird.
They drafted players though.
It don't matter. But if they like, are we saying that super teams? Are we saying that super teams is based on how much money you're making or your skill level? Because if the NBA is the highest level of skill of basketball players, highest level of skill, and I know there's levels in between this high level. I know there's levels. Wouldn't it create better competition because teams are trying to make sure they have the best team possible to go against these teams? Like, in my opinion. So when you call it a super team, I'm understanding why we call it super teams, but to me, it's unfair. I'm gonna say this. To me, the term super team, because it seems like we're diminishing. The
Lakers are dealing with an unfair situation. Comment below. Right. Y'all heard this nigga just say that. The Lakers are being dealt an unfair.
So the super team are old. Are they a super team or are they old? Tell me which one. That's where we want to go.
That's where I was going next. So my thing is, I'm not calling them a super team. I'm actually calling them old. I think that Melo's gonna be 38, right?
Mm-hmm. 37 right now.
LeBron's gonna be 37 in December. So like before the All-Star break. Russ is 32. But he plays differently than a 32-year-old NBA player that's pacing the game. He plays 1,000%.
He plays like he's 28.
Yeah, he plays in fifth gear all the time. So I think LeBron's coming up on 16,000 minutes this year. So that's a lot of tread on the tires. Russell Westbrook probably got a little bit of tread on his tires based on how he plays. I don't wish injury on nobody, but like the West is a different beast. He played most of his time in the West. Going back to the West Coast it's still gonna be competitive. And then Anthony Davis, like, I ain't gonna call him what Charles Barkley called him, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Like, bro, you half the season you in, half the season you out. So it's like, what's up? I like the signings. I think the signings make them very formidable when it comes to the offensive side of things, but they ain't signed no forward. The same thing as the Bulls. They ain't signed no front court. They ain't signed no rim protection other than Dwight Howard. And Dwight Howard kind of like, he been doing great, but he gonna be what, 36, 37 too?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna make your argument stronger, by the way.
And the Nuggets is here. The Mavericks is here. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make your argument stronger. Phoenix is here. LeBron has played over 50,000 minutes in the NBA.
I said 60. I meant 60,000.
Oh, 60. Got you. Okay,
I meant to say 60, not 16.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just make your argument a little stronger. But also, you look at it this way, right? In 2015, the Warriors won that championship.
Right.
They won, right? They beat the Cavs. Other than that championship, other than that one, I cannot remember a team being that young and winning it all. We just go in your previous history. Go in your history. We can go back. Even if we want to talk Michael Jordan, he was winning at 36. They was 35, 36 years old. So my point, the point that I'm trying to make is this. It's not really back then, they didn't take care of the bodies the way that they do now, right? So nutrition and health and, sports science, whatever they want to call it, it plays a part into this. Maybe spare you a couple of years, right? Off whatever your span is in the NBA. But more importantly, these guys being a little bit older, they're going to play what you call smarter. You know how people say work harder, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
They're going to play smarter and not harder. And they're just going to, I always believe this. Every time LeBron steps out on the court, he's the smartest guy on the floor. I think we can agree with that. He orchestrates what's going on. He's the smartest guy. He knows everybody's plays. He knows where he's supposed to be, where your team's supposed to be, what's going on, what y'all about to run, whenever. So just by him being that smart, you add other high IQ players because that's what they added to this team, in my opinion. Melo is a high IQ player. Melo has just always been in his head. He's always thought, I'm the best player. I'm going to take the most money. I'm going to do what's right for Melo.
Right.
But Melo has now settled into it's time. Like I said, Brian told him it's time. The time is right. He wants to win now. I think Melo, you had a high IQ player. Dwight Howard, for all intended purposes, he's a goofball. He's a goofball. We all know that.
But he's always been a high IQ player.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart player.
Especially
and this team rolls down their roster. And then you could say that Russell is low IQ. I've said that at times. Like, man, he plays like a chicken with his head cut off sometimes. I don't know what he's looking at, what he's saying. But over the last few years, he's been able to play and dictate the pace of the game where he knows when to go fast and when to go slow, but he also knows when to get his teammates involved. So when you look at that roster, the roster just shows me that they have a lot of like they got smarts on that team. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use that, but they are old. So that's why this is just the biggest question. It is the biggest question. It's the biggest question mark with them, man. They're old. How does it going to look like 20 games into the season? Probably going to look good, right? But what's going to happen when that first injuries happen? They happen. You know who they're going to happen to, but they happen. People sit out. People take nights off. People may take a week off. What is it going to look like when it starts getting into them dog days?
It's going to look like Russell Westbrook getting a bunch of triple doubles because LeBron and AD sitting out games. They got Trevor Ariza too. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, Trevor Ariza. High IQ basketball player.
But
this is a thing.
He was on the Lakers the last time. Before this one, he was on the Lakers last championship, not the one last year, but the one before that. 10 years ago.
35. But I do like the mix of the youngest. I keep saying it. I think I tweeted it. Do not sleep on Malik Monk.
I'm not. I didn't like the fact that Charlotte let him go. They had to kind of mix it up. They got rid of Devontae Graham too. He went to New Orleans, I think. Yeah. Devontae Graham went and signed with New Orleans. So, but that's just because they got something exciting there in Charlotte, and they just have to, get rid of loose ends, and that makes sense. But Malik Monk is a bucket getter. He came to the Lakers because he wanted to learn. So this is a great environment for you to learn and learn how to be a consummate pro. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Kendrick Nunn. He can fill up the bucket. He's young. I just don't call Russell. I can't call Russell Westbrook old. Like, he don't even play old. So, and AD is not old. He may get injuries and walk around the court and be holding his back and his leg like he old, but he ain't old, and he better show it this year. He ain't old. They need some front court players, because when they play Jokic and then they play Aiden on back-to-back nights, it ain't gonna be for the faint of heart.
I'm with you.
Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, Victor Oladipo, they all head down to South Beach, hook up with Bam and Jimmy for the Heat.
Dogs, man.
Did you see PJ? Did you see PJ championship speech at the parade?
Yeah, man. It was a great speech. It was one of those, like, I'm not about to be politically correct here. Like, we just dogs, bro. Like, what else do you want me to say? But he dipped. We dogs. Oh, yeah. Cause PJ Tucker. Yeah. Now, yeah. Now we talk about of course he dipped. If PJ Tucker is 36 years old. All right.
Damn,
PJ
for
Tucker
real?
36. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You got to take the A to just sports science. Sports
I
science.
didn't know that.
You might not even look at that. PJ Tucker is 36 years old.
He played at Texas with KD and DJ Augustine.
He's 36
so
years old.
So he's a super senior with the. All right.
Yo, PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is 36, right? But you gotta look at it like this. No, he didn't play with KD. He didn't play with KD. Sorry, he didn't play with them. I thought he was. No. He's just a Texas alum. He didn't play with them. Okay. He was with TJ Ford. I think he was with TJ Ford in them.
Damn, for real?
And yeah, I want to say so. I may be wrong. I gotta
go back and look and try to point him out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, PJ Tucker. So he's been overseas. His journey is long, but he's 36, and that's what I'm getting at.
He is 36. I'm 36 years old. I'm 36.
And he could come back to Milwaukee and take a veteran's minimum of $2 million. Or I could go to Miami, go live in Miami. Like, remember when Joe Kim Noah was like, yo, who goes to Cleveland to travel? Like, who goes to Cleveland on vacation?
But Milwaukee's going to be back. So he had a chance to get another ring.
You go to Miami and you join that culture in Miami, knowing he doesn't go there, not knowing that Kyle Lowry's going there. He knows Kyle Lowry's going. He's going into Miami culture. He's going into Miami Heat culture. Where they got banned.
Miami culture.
He's going to go there, going to get right. And they offered him 2 years at $7 million.
So he's going to be on Drink Champs. You feel me? He's going to be at Rolling Loud.
Yeah, it was a money move.
He's going to be down there round 2, trading out sneakers, all that, huh?
There you go. It was a money move, but at the same time, he didn't go to a bum team. He went to a team that's going to be fighting. He went to a team that's equipped to handle guarding Giannis and making life tough for him if they meet in the playoffs.
They brought Oladipo back. I don't understand that, though.
Oladipo, man. I think
he's expendable. I think that's going to be part of a trade that they make later on down the road.
Card. He's a wild card. Let me tell you, Miami last year, what was haunting them was that they could not get buckets.
They can't get buckets. They're working too hard to score. Yeah.
And Victor Oladipo, when he's healthy, you know what he can do? You know that he gets buckets when he's healthy. He's been unlucky the last couple of years. But if you Miami, why not? You take a chance. You know what I'm saying? You take a chance on Vic. You let him get healthy. He doesn't have to come in and play right away. You let him sit. You let him rehab. Let him get 100%. And then you let him show his value.
I think him and Tyler Hero going to get put in a package for something else.
That might happen as well. But I like them holding on to him because that's a wild card if he's healthy.
Did you like what Dragic said? Did you see his news interview? His Canadian news interview where he was like,
he wants something better. He wants something better than the Raptors. That was just, and he apologized for that. So Goran Dragic came out and said that he didn't really want to play for the Raptors. He wanted something bigger and better. And he don't quote me on that, but that's basically what he said. That was his heart speaking. He don't want to be in Toronto. He don't. Yeah, he came back and apologized because he know they won a championship and he doesn't have one. Well, buddy, they not winning a championship no time soon. So I understand why you said that, Goran. I agree with you. You want to go. He wants to get let out that contract because he wants to go to Dallas and play with his Slovenian brother, Luka Doncic. That's exactly what he wants to do. And the moment he gets a chance to do it, he's gone to Dallas. That's signed and sealed. That's where he wants to go. And so you look at that, and it is what it is. He hasn't put on a jersey. He hasn't played a minute for them. But one thing about Goran Dragic, if he has to play for Toronto, he's going to be a pro. He's going to be a pro and he's going to play.
I mean, it's not a bad situation. You getting put in the hands of Masai, who basically it's basically he going to be the next commissioner when Silver decides to give it up. If you saw that contract, like he pretty much got like the ransom note of the century. But I'm not mad at it. I agree with you. I think he's trying to get to Dallas in a hurry. Speaking of buyouts, Kimba took a buyout from OKC. He's back at the crib. He gonna put the Knicks uniform on. They re-signed Derrick Rose. I think they re-signed they gave Julius Randle the max.
They gave Julius the bag.
And they signed somebody and they re-signed somebody else. Can't remember exactly.
Alex Burke.
Brought back Alec Burke. Yeah. So
Alec Burke. So good for them. Kimba gave up $20 million to get bought out. I mean, they pay now. People don't understand. Kimba was making a lot of money. I think he was old. He's supposed to be old, something like $75 million.
Crazy.
They paid him $50. They paid him $54 to go.
To not
so he
play.
Gave up $20. Yeah, they paid him 54, bought him out at 54, and he got another 8 from New York. So Kimba is great. He's in good position. I just wanted to put out he dropped 20 million because that's kind of crazy to me. Like you don't want to be somewhere so bad. You're like, yo, y'all can keep 20. I'm out of here. So, but it's Kimba. The experiment didn't work out in Boston. I don't know if that was more, he was not healthy, but it was a mixture of him not being healthy and that team just not having, to me, an identity.
Right.
You go to New York where you know what the culture is there now that they've set. I think that in Tibbs, if you look at his history with Chicago, he's resurrected guards. I mean, think about it. The guards that play, you think about CJ Watson. You think about John Salmons. You think about Ben Gordon. You think about Ben Gordon. You think about all these guards that was playing for DJ Augustine. They went to Chicago when Tibbs was there and was hooping. And you see what he did for Derrick Rose this year. He revitalized him, put that energy, put that battery back in his back, right? And so I think he could do the same for Kimba. I really do.
Word. I'm looking forward to it. The key word for this season is health. If you can stay healthy, that's what's going to carry you over. Because a lot of teams that we had pegged to be further along, they didn't make it because they weren't healthy. Let's round out the free
wins every year.
Let's round out this free agency situation. JaVale McGee, he ends up going well.
He's in Phoenix.
1 year deal to back to I imagine he's gonna back up DeAndre Ayton. That's what killed them in the playoffs.
They needed that.
John Collins got the max from Atlanta.
Well deserved.
Going back 125 mil, right? 5 for 125.
Yeah, pay that man. They was playing with him like he didn't help them get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Pay that man. Well deserved.
Major signing today. Big dog signing. Big dog cash out. Let's do the round of applause. Let's get the air horns. You feel me? Big dog signing today. Dennis Schroeder, the German lightning bolt. You know
what? I'm not even. Go ahead, man.
We want 100 billion.
Yo,
Dennis Schroeder signed with the Boston Celtics.
I'll say it. Dennis Schroeder signed. He signed with the Boston Celtics. 1 year, $5.8 million. Now, if you don't know why we've been making the faces we've been making for the past 10, 15 seconds,
because I can show you $5 million. Don't get it twisted.
Let me break it down to you. I am in no way, shape, or form making fun of somebody making $5.8 million because I wish somebody would offer me $5 million. I mean, I'm pretty sure if somebody offered us $5.8 million, we would sign on the line.
This will be the last episode of the Hitmen Podcast if somebody offered me $6 million. Straight up.
Right. So in no means are we making fun of any man making $6 million because we not in a position to even talk about money like that, right? Word. But we got to tell you how we got here. It's like a BET movie. You're probably wondering how I got here right now. Dennis Schroeder was a point guard for the LA Lakers, playing with LeBron, playing for AD, playing under the lights where the stars stay. LA is a pretty nice place to, visit, live,
Malibu, Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills, feel me, Brentwood.
By the way, after the previous season, you played at OKC, came up runner-up in the Sixth Man of the Year, had an amazing season, and got traded from Oklahoma City to LA. Seems like a pretty nice situation. You got a chance to play for a championship. In the middle of the season, because it was a contract year for Dennis Schroeder, in the middle of the season, Lakers management, Rob Pelinka, comes and offers Dennis Schroeder a contract. The contract was 4 years, $84 million. Damn. Okay. Woo Wop Da Bams. That, to me, I'm looking at Dennis Schroeder. I'm looking at his game. I'm looking at his skill set. That's a great contract for Dennis Schroeder. I don't even have to be your manager to have. If I'm Dennis Schroeder's manager, which I'm pretty sure he's probably looking for one right now, I would sit down and tell him that's a pretty good contract. We should probably seriously take a look at it and sign it. Whatever happened within his brain trust, he comes out, he denies the contract. He declines that contract, and all season, when he first got to LA, he first says, I'm not coming off the bench. I'm starting. Starts off like that. All right, cool. They let you start. You're producing. Y'all playing well. All right, cool. That contract comes around, you decline it, and you keep coming out in the media saying you want something fair. You just want it to be fair. You want to be in LA, but you just want it to be fair. I'm looking at the contract like, if 84 ain't fair, what is he asking for? We don't know because the season's still going on.
Word.
They get into the playoffs, and in the playoffs, he's getting outplayed by Campaign, who just signed 3 years, $18 million with the Suns. You're getting outplayed by Campaign. There's games where you score 0 points, man, dog. You know what I'm saying? Okay, season end, the Lakers don't win the championship. They don't even get out the first round. It's a disappointment. They won the championship last year. Cool. Now you're reportedly coming out in the media, and through your management, whoever is representing you, you come out and say you're looking for a contract upwards of $120 million. Fam, you know who gets $120 million? Do you know the caliber of players who get $120 million? I'm just like, we got to be honest about this here. The caliber of players that get $120 million really changed the fortune of a franchise. Like, they really out here, like, no matter what, they not scoring 0 points in a playoff game. They can't afford to score 0 points in a playoff game. They're getting paid too much to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're asking for $120 million, and this is where, Chris, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, this is a lesson. Let this lesson be known to people. Like, when you have management, like, you need to, like, watch. I don't know what the situation is, but if you have management, you got to really be able to pay attention and listen and kind of see when things ain't sounding right or things ain't right. Because if you come out and you commanded $120 million, bro, Chris, free agency started last week. But let's be honest. Teams are talking, managers, agents are talking to teams way before then. LeBron and everybody else is talking to teams, and they know what's out there on the table for them.
Right.
They know, hey, if the Lakers not trying to give you this, we know that such and such, they interested. They want to throw you this bread. Right. So we got options on the table. If you saying you want $120 million, I'm just thinking that there's a couple teams willing to pay you that. That's why you're saying that. Well, free agency starts, and point guards are being taken left and right and left and right and left and right, and none of them are named Dennis Schroeder, to the point where there's no teams that need a point guard left. And there's no teams with cap space to give you $120 million, bro. I feel bad for Dennis Schroeder. I feel bad. I ain't gonna lie, I feel bad because I don't know if this was him just betting on himself or him listening to his agent, who should be his former agent. We should be hearing news tomorrow.
I think he fired him. I think he fired both of them. He had two agents. I think he fired them.
Okay, because I was waiting to see on my phone Dennis Schroeder has fired his agents.
I think he fired them.
That is the classic case of the money's guaranteed. Take the $84 million, play your contract, outplay that contract, and get another 84. Now you got to play. Now his career, to me, in my opinion, his career is on the line. Money wise,
I mean, he has a chance to start in Boston though, because they got Marcus Smart, and I feel like,
it's not even guaranteed that he's gonna Smart. He took $5 million, and he's got to look, Chris. He took a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
he's got to put up 20 points a game to even get sniff somewhere near $84 million again. To even have somebody even offer you $84 million.
I think he has a shot because I feel like Marcus Smart is gonna get traded at some point.
Damn,
and I don't think that the Celtics are in the market right now to bring in an all-star point guard. If they were going to get anybody, it should have been Kyle Lowry, and they didn't.
Damn.
But
this is a lesson. This is a lesson, bro.
This is another
lesson to everybody. I'm sorry.
Protect your chicken.
I can't even protect your bread. And if somebody is selling you a dream, you better wake up. Wake up, dog. Oh my God. You turned down 84 to take 5. Oh my God.
Crazy.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I was going to say before we wrap this up, there is another point guard out there that we need to talk about before we get off into the quick hits. And that's Ben Simmons, because this saga is still ongoing, and word around the campfire is it's down to the Golden State Warriors. He's not answering Daryl Morey's phone calls. He's not answering nobody's phone calls unless it's talk about getting him out to the Bay. But the Warriors ain't necessarily jumping and saying like, we really want Ben Simmons. Or there's a story out there saying that they're not sure about the Draymond and Ben Simmons fit. I don't think Ben Simmons is a true competitor, dog. Like, he turned down going to the Olympics. He wasn't really like the most competitive coming out of college. Obviously, we know what's on tape from the series between them and was it Milwaukee that took them out? Nah, yeah. Atlanta.
No, Atlanta.
Yeah, you saw what happened. He's giving up dunks. He's giving up wide open dunks to pass out of him. I would trade his ass to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox and keep it moving.
Ben Simmons, man. You got the right to say that. Yeah. Ben Simmons, his competitiveness can be questioned. It can, just based on, his route to the NBA and just the things that we've seen over the years, right? I think more so, I don't think he was working on his game. I just don't.
Nah, you saw that whack ass video he put out where he was trying to shoot threes over fam that was like he might have been 6 feet tall. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I just think that he was casual with it. And then when you're trying to win a championship, you can't be casual. You got to really do the work. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? For all it's worth, anybody who's become a champion, look at Giannis.
Word.
Perfect example.
Word.
Perfect example. It all came in a culmination in one night. That game, he was hitting turnaround jump shots from everywhere. Like, he couldn't shoot. We was clowning him. We clowned for the last 3 years about his shot. But he also worked on every part of his game. You could just see it all coming together. And he competes at the highest level every single night. Ben Simmons, he competes. Don't get me wrong. He was in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. He competes on that end. I'm not going to take that away from him. Yeah. On offense, he think he can get away with just being a pure point guard who does not score unless they go to the basket. And he's realizing very quickly that's not the case. You're going to have to shoot the ball, bro. And so... and
you're the second best player on the team. You're the de facto second best player on the team. Like, you have to come through with points. You have to. Exactly. And I understand he's not trying. He's in his feelings. He don't want to talk to nobody in Philly because they pretty much took shit on him. They did. They blamed him for losing. And I didn't agree with that. You cannot blame Ben Simmons for losing a 20-some point lead in the playoffs. I watched that whole game. All of them was to blame, including my main man, Doc Rivers. He be trying to skating again. You can't blame me.
He is skating again. They blame Paul George for them losing that 3-1 lead when nobody pointed a finger at Doc. He went over to Philly and they ain't blaming him again. They blaming Ben Simmons. No, first and foremost. So I can understand him not answering their calls, but I will say that in Golden State, that would be a good fit for Ben Simmons. If they can keep Draymond Green, they can keep that core with Draymond, Clay, and Steph and add Ben Simmons, boy, he don't gotta shoot. He doesn't have to, literally, he does not have to shoot.
What are you giving up for Ben Simmons though if you go to State? Like, we don't need Wiseman.
You got to give up your draft picks that you got this year. You got to give up Kuminga. You got to give up Kuminga. You got to give up Moses Moody. You got to give him up, and you might have to give up. You might have to give him up. Wiseman. You might, but
Ben Simmons is not worth that. If I'm the Warriors, no, I'm not doing that.
But in return, you get a player that can play defense. He is dynamic and he gets out on a break. And
how do we know Kuminga can't do that already? We just brought back Iguodala. How do we know that Kuminga can't do that?
Kuminga is not Ben Simmons, and I'm not even going.
How do we know that?
We're not doing that.
How do we know that?
I just know, bro. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But I entertain it. But it's different because, you got Draymond. So you got Draymond and Ben Simmons. They both don't shoot the ball. That's the only problem.
Exactly.
You can't have two people that don't shoot the ball. You can't have that. Ben Simmons might just have to suck it up, bro, and go back to Philly and just play it out.
That's not gonna happen.
Go dap it up with them and say it's all love and let's get to it, because it don't look like Warriors got enough to trade for them, or it don't look like they even really, really thirsty to pull the trigger, because if they would have already done it. You know what I'm saying?
What did you see from your end? Clowns.
That's for you, disrespecting Doc Rivers like that. Let us know how y'all feeling about the NBA free agency. What moves y'all think are going to continue to go down before we reset and get ready for the new season? hit us up again in the mailbag, the Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. Rate, review, and subscribe. Hit the comments below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit us up on the socials, on the Instagram, on Twitter, at the Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Mo_Sal1.
Woo Wop Da Bams.
Let's get into the quick hits. You check out the Summer League game so far?
Yeah, man. Actually, right now, watching Houston and Jalen Green go against Cade Cunningham in Detroit. Jalen Green is
He's as advertised for sure.
He's gonna lead the league in scoring in the next 5 years. That's just a fact.
Jeez.
That's just a fact. He got everything in this game. He's a bucket, like the definition of a bucket. And Cade Cunningham is the real deal for sure.
Dr. Dre's daughter. We'll get back to Summer League in a second. But Dr. Dre's daughter, she came out and said that he ain't giving her no support. He ain't showing her no love. She been sleeping in her car, and she got what, 3 kids, 4 kids, something like that.
Okay. How old is she?
How old did you say she was? She down at 40, right?
39. Okay. All right.
That was quick.
Yeah, all right. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. I mean,
Kuminga been doing decent in the Summer League too. We was just talking about him though. Kuminga been hooping. Miles Moody been hooping. I mean, all the rookies been showing improving. I like what I saw from Davion Mitchell of Sacramento. Yeah,
he looks good. And
De'Aaron Fox is not gonna be there all season. I'm telling you.
No, you don't give up De'Aaron Fox. He's special. He's special.
I don't see it, bro. They got too many. They got too many. They got Halliburton and they got Davion Mitchell and they got De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I know. Davion Mitchell is great. He's a pest on defense, but we got to see it first because De'Aaron Fox is dynamic and he can do anything he wants on the floor. So I just personally, I wouldn't give him up, but you're right. We've seen stuff like this happen in the league. So
I'm telling you, dog.
It is what it is with that. Jalen Suggs in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna put this on your radar very quick. Him or Cole Anthony. One of them got to go.
Yeah, Jalen.
And it's going to be Cole Anthony.
Jalen Suggs.
It's not enough room.
Cole Anthony's gone.
Yeah. I'm watching it. Jalen Suggs is the real deal. I don't need to see too much. I know he's the real deal. Cole Anthony is undersized. He's still, after a year, I mean, he's still young. He still has to develop. But I'm just watching and it just looks like Jalen Suggs is the more polished player already. He looks like he is able to affect the defensive end and the offensive end, and where it looks like Cole Anthony is just like he a gunslinger. He's turnover prone, too much up and down. We'll see what happens, but I don't think they can both play in the same backcourt together, especially when you got RJ Hampton there too. I think he got the potential to be a stabilizing force in the making. And you got to think a lot of teams we didn't even talk about. A lot of teams are going to get better just off of the fact that they were injured before the playoffs start. Like Indiana's going to be better when they come back because they're going to get Miles Turner back healthy. They're going to get Sabonis back healthy. You know what I'm saying? Chicago's getting Kobe White back off of shoulder surgery, but he'll be back healthy. You got the Lakers. They're going to get everybody back up to full speed. So the Magic is one of those teams. They get Markelle Fultz back. They get Mo Bamba back. They get Jonathan Isaac back. And they were able to move Aaron Gordon and move, you know what I'm saying, get some stuff situated. So now, like, nice young core. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice young core. I don't think that they're gonna do too much in that division because you still got Atlanta, you still got Miami, and Charlotte is like up and coming. And not to forget, Washington made the playoffs too. So it's gonna take for them to overtake one of those teams or one of those teams to underperform in order for them to pick it up. But I like the Jalen Suggs pick up from the jump. Like that was exactly what they needed. That was exactly what the doctor ordered. Did you see the Jackson Hayes video, bro? This arrest. I couldn't watch it all. I just watched a few seconds and I just scrolled away. I'm not about to. I can't watch stuff like that. I'm not about to act like I'm not about to become desensitized to stuff like that. Word. That's point blank. I will say that the nerve of the LAPD though. I don't know if you read about them. Did you read about that? Talk about it. LAPD sent a letter to the NBA asking them to discipline Jackson Hayes because while they were tasing him, he was using the N-word. Right. And that was against the league's conduct of using that word. And he should be fined. yo, that's disgusting, bro. That is disgusting on so many levels. And it's like, yo, are you serious right now? LAPD, like, y'all got way bigger and maybe better shit to do. Or maybe y'all don't, but y'all, I mean, I'm looking at LA and I'm reading stories that come out of LA. Y'all got bigger stuff to do than to be sending a letter to the NBA asking them to find a player that was using the N-word while you were tasing him.
And we still don't know the reason behind it. We still don't know the circumstances behind it.
What?
This is a millionaire, man.
That's shameful, bro. That's shameful, man. That people will go to the lengths to do stuff like that, man. It's all bad.
Showtime released the trailer for the Rick James documentary. I can't wait. I don't know about you, dog, but I'm thirsty for it. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah. No, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm definitely gonna tune in once it drops. You know what I mean? Rick James, man, legendary icon. Come on, man.
Hell yeah. You can't tell me different, bro. I cannot wait.
Yo, this is Dope T Pongo when you checking in with the Hitman Podcast.
They said the music was too loud last week, but it's all good. I got it back situated. I got my PS5. We're about to get into the rundown real quick. Let's do it.
Let's go.
So check it out. Did you get the South Beach Ace last week? Negatory?
Nah, bro. Negative Ghost Rider.
Did you even try?
Man, I'm sad. Yeah, I did, man. It didn't work out for the kid. I don't even know why. I'm like, man, God know how much I want these shoes, and it's gonna work out in my favor. Just didn't, you know. I'm gonna try to hit the resale market and see what's good.
Oh shit! You be out there by yourself, looking like a hitchhiker. You feel me? Starting off August 11th, the Nike Dunk Low Sale Multi Camo that's dropping on the sneakers app. Dunk season, $100. Y'all already know how I go down. Make sure y'all get up early to catch them. We're going to go through this pretty quick. August 12th, the Jordan High OG C form for the women. August 12th, also the the New Balance 327 Todd Snyder Farmer's Market. He got the wheat colorway, the pineapple colorway, and the pomegranate colorway. Hit pick of the week, y'all already know how it's going down. I know you've been seeing it. In case you've been living under a rock, you already know. The Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Fragment collab. He already came out with the high top. He came out with the PS5 alternate version of his Jordan 1 that he dropped earlier. Was it early last year? Late last year? That was the shoe of the year for most folks. But he's dropping the low top version of his newest rendition. That's on the sneakers app August 13th, along with the Travis Scott Jordan Fragment capsule. They got the hoodie, they got the shorts, they got the shirt, they got everything you need. Rounding it up quick.
Initially,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it. Initially, I was against. You know how I would be like, don't touch the classics. I was initially against the Travis Scott frags. I'm like, man, what are we doing here, right? and so, but I then took a look at the lows, and they solid. They solid. The lows are solid, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He got a decent one in him on that one. Travis Scott has always been a creative director at heart, so LaFlame know what he's doing when it comes to the shoes. Rounding out the week, the 13th, you got the Reebok Club C Legacy Pleasures. August 14th, you got the Jordan 1 Retro High Pollen Black and Yellow Steelers colorway. To end out the week, August 17th, the Jordan Delta 2. Jordan Deltas are hard. Surprisingly, I really like them. I like that black one. But they got the light photo blue and orange colorway. August 18th, the Nike Air Max Pre-Day Light Bone, Chlorophyll, and green colorways. And then to end out the week until we get back with y'all for the next episode 52, it's the Jordan 14 Aleli May Fortune. That's the one y'all been seeing with the J colorway, the wheat and J. They hard.
That's fire.
Big get for the ladies.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna do it for the sneaker rundown this week. We need pictures, man. Make sure y'all send what y'all got in y'all closet, what y'all busting down, what y'all undead stocking. We need that. Send it to the mailbag. Hit us up on the Instagram. Let us know what y'all got week to week. We're gonna get a competition going pretty soon. I'm trying to develop some shit where we can start giving away some StockX bucks or some GOAT bucks or something like that.
Sound
so
good.
We can get a little bit more interactive 4D for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? What's happening in the world? What's gonna happen there? You remember that shit on what was that on Brown Sugar, Ren the 10?
Yeah,
Rapid
man.
Dalmatian.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
What you got for me?
Yeah, man.
Game show.
I'm the one asking the question, huh?
Back in the driver's seat.
All right,
bro.
cool. Man, I think this one is easy. It might trip you up though.
All right.
So think about it for your answer.
Word.
So we were talking about basketball, and you know, something just popped in my head, like Mike D'Antoni, right?
Right.
I think we talked about last week how he left the Nets coaching staff, and now he's probably gonna be looking for another job, another head coaching job, which led me down a rabbit hole of, damn, how many teams has Mike D'Antoni coached for? Well, that's the question I'm gonna ask you. Name the 5 franchises that Mike D'Antoni has coached.
Head coach or assistant coach?
Head coached. Just head coached. I ain't gonna do you like that.
All right. So we know him from Phoenix Suns, right?
Yep.
Coached the Knicks.
Uh-huh.
Coached the Lakers.
Yep.
Coached the Rockets.
Yep.
It's one more team.
One more team.
Damn, I'm gonna get this wrong. Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The time on yourself. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
man. Is it another West team?
5. It's in the West. It's in the West. Yeah.
Damn.
Would be.
Wrong.
Yeah, hit the right button. Come on, bro. You did getting fumbled. I told you it was gonna trip you up. Damn.
That did trip me up.
Yeah, it tripped you up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are we counting one of the teams twice or not?
No, not one of the teams twice. So you're right. Mike D'Antoni did coach for the Phoenix Suns.
Right.
He did coach the Houston Rockets.
Right.
He did coach the New York Knicks. And he did coach the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
In 1998 and 1999, that season, Mike D'Antoni coached the Denver Nuggets.
Not the bang.
I would have never got that shit.
I know. That's why I said think about it wisely. Yeah, the Nuggets.
How many seasons?
Yep. One season. That was his first season as a coach.
Oh wow!
And he coached 50 games, and that was the shortened season.
Oh wow! Damn.
Yeah.
That flew over my head.
Yeah.
That was a good question, bro. That was hard.
Yeah, man. No, I was like, damn, he might know it. I didn't know it.
I ain't know no fucking coaches.
I didn't know that at all. Like, damn,
I'm 10 years old. I'm 10 years old. I don't know who's coaching nobody in 10. You feel me? I know Phil Jackson and whoever we coaching against in the finals. That's it.
You know, just trying to make you think a little bit.
Shout outs. Who you got?
That
was a good ass question.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, man. Shout outs this week. Who am I going to shout out, man? I feel like I shout out the same people because it's all love with them, man. But, you know, shout out to somebody that's kind of near and dear to us. Our brother Jason, you know, J Hall, man. Appreciate you, man. We had a good talk this week, good productive talk, man. So shout out to J Hall, man. Shout out to my brother Will. For sure. Always keeping me laughing. Shout out to my boy AB. You know what I'm saying? Stay strong, my brother. You know, it's all love always, man. And shout out to my brother Corvette, man. Hearts with you, bro. For real.
1000%. Shout out to the Bear. Hearts and mind, thoughts and prayers out to you, big dog. We love you. Shout out goes to Bobby Bowden, one of the all-time greats. He passed away yesterday.
Absolutely.
At 91. Florida State was my team as a shorty. College football. Like I love Bobby Bowden, Seminoles teams. He coached Hall of Famers, but he just always seemed to me like he took a real extreme joy out of teaching and coaching and bringing up young men and teaching them to be leaders. So shout out to Bobby Bowden. You're going to be sorely missed. I think he's second most in college wins in history behind Joe Paterno.
Florida State team's exciting, he coach, man.
Oh,
sure.
Sersky. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Keep your head up, bro. He tested positive again for COVID.
Man.
That Josh Allen contract, we didn't get to it, but that $207 million, that's pretty much the domino that needed to fall. So when it comes down to him getting paid, it's gonna come in a major way. But just stay healthy, big dog. We rooting for you. I know no fantasy football team situations is getting, I guess, sold up this week. I'm chilling this year. The Cucamonga Cracker Killers were undefeated last year, so I'm chilling. I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna stand on the sideline.
It's a lot. We'll get into it next episode. I don't even want to dive into it now, but he's regarding players and whether that status on their health, and we'll get into that next episode because I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm cooling on that.
Yeah.
Who else I had to shout out? Oh yeah, this story just came out early. I didn't even get a chance to get off into it. So Errol Spence is out of the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, man. Golly, boy. First Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, that happens, and we got to push that back.
Yeah.
And now, prayers out to Spence. They said it's something going on with his eye socket, his orbital socket,
yeah.
And so hopefully he gets healthy. I know he had that terrible crash a few years back. I don't know if that's something that's lingering from that, but yeah, so. Hopefully he comes back stronger. They did say who they were replacing him with, right?
Yeah, they got it.
I didn't see it
now. Damn, I just had it.
It can't be anybody I know. Yeah, it can't be anybody. I mean, I watch boxing, but if it was somebody that was worth seeing, because I think Pacquiao gonna beat up whoever they put in the ring. So it would have been nice to see him and Spence though.
Hey, bro, boxing is turning into soap opera. Shout out to LiAngelo Ball. He putting on a show out there, Summer League, doing his thing. Had the family out there cheering him on. Shout out to LaMelo. He just signed a Puma deal. So he's
nice
situated, and he showed up. I think he showed the Summer League in a Puma jet. So that's how you.
Yeah, that's his first shoe.
Lit. Shout out to the Ball family. I think that's about it. I'm making sure I got everything. Shout out to Steph Curry. He got a documentary in the works called Underrated. It's gonna be produced by A24. They made the film Uncut Gems and a few other dope ass movies. So shout out to Steph Curry. Got one in the works. Beyond that, the usual suspects, all the black podcasters that we rock with. Of course, the Supreme Pod God, Jay Sims.
Yes,
Joe Jack, KD over there at the Reason Down Podcast. Cody Mack with the interviews. What's the word TV? What's the deal? How y'all doing? What's popping? Shout out Dino, Coyote, and Cardi on the Table Talk Podcast. Ace and C down. I ain't going. What's the deal? We fuck with y'all 1000%. With that being said, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Oh my God. Before we get out of here, I forgot. Speaking of podcasters, we got a mailbag. I wanted to get to it. Shout out to Martell Man and the Corporate Ish Podcast.
What's up, Martell?
Tune in. It get your life right. Get you out of spending your refund checks and your stimulus money on some bullshit.
Yeah, man. Do something good with your money.
Wealth. I'm a splice, but here's the mailbag from the Corporate Ish Podcast. I see y'all doing big things with the pod. I think y'all doing a great job from the format content. I don't even follow sports like that at this point in my life, but I feel like y'all podcast keeps me current. Congrats on the spins. Question for y'all. I dropped my 5th episode. I'm at like 200 and something plays with the Corporate Ish Podcast. The first episode I had did about 58. The next episode did 50. After that's 48, and now the most recent one is 33. I feel like I'm headed in the wrong direction when it plays. So I thought the numbers would be higher, especially having guests on. Friend of the show, Chris Arsenault, texted me and said his episode, said a lot of people were texting him, said they were listening, but in 3 weeks, we only have 48 plays. I'm okay with it. It could be worse, but I'm curious if y'all have any tips on how to grow your audience and how to get consistent, engaging listeners. I was wondering if I should change something with my podcast or if I need to change the way I'm marketing it. You got any advice for the brother, man?
Yeah, man. First of all, appreciate you being transparent about that, Martell. Like that's dope. That's hella dope. A lot of people wouldn't even do that, right? Everybody act like it's all good, and you may not be where you want to be. But I noticed you said something in there. You said you was going in the wrong direction. You're absolutely wrong. Every episode you create, every episode you put out to the people is you going in the right direction, bro. we could attest to this firsthand. Like, we didn't know how many plays we was gonna get. We was right around the same amount of plays. Our first episode did the best at first. For the longest, our first episode was the best because that was just the first one and everybody wanted to know what was going on. But honestly, and Chris has taught me this, just to be more so continue with the content. Just continue putting out content. Continue just wherever you can put out content. Just put it out, man. People will see it. And eventually it's going to hit. It doesn't take, like, with anything you do. Like, just rappers that make songs for 10, 15 years. And it's not to the 15th year where one of the songs hit, right? So at the end of the day, you got to do it for the love of doing it. Yes, you doing it because you want people to listen. But if you doing it because you love to do this and it's something that you're passionate about, the people will just come, man. I'll let Chris, I'll let you go more so where, because you're more on the marketing side of things where you know where to, you know what I'm saying? You're more so than me, just being transparent. You're more out there or able to, market and do those different type of things. I know that social media is important. I know that hitting different avenues is important. I know that gathering a target core audience is important so that they continue to come back to your shows. But I'll let you just, speak on what you think is important.
It's all important, but the most important, like you said, is the content, bro. You got to believe in something, be down in conviction. Like, I believe in what we're doing. I've been like, that's when we started it. We talked about this for a year and a half before we got off into doing it. But my thing is, this isn't anything that we wouldn't be doing without cameras and microphones. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know Martell, I know the Corporate Itch podcast is something that he's well versed in.
It's dope.
He's helped people change their lives without a podcast. You feel me? Like, some of the gems that they drop on that joint is like mind altering. It's stuff that I got switched on to that I talked to my parents about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the first thing is to trust yourself. Trust your process and believe in what you're doing. Don't think that because your spins are low out of the gate that's indicative of whether you're successful or not, because it's not.
Hell no.
And then the other thing, and this is something that I personally subscribe to, try everything. Like, don't be afraid to try anything. I'm not afraid of moving aggressively in terms of pushing our content in front of people. Not ad nauseum, not to where it's like, all right, bro, I get it. Like, leave me alone. And I've had people I'll be at the barbershop and somebody got a music video and they'll try to pull it up on my phone. And then they go through my phone and start liking all of their videos from my YouTube account.
That's happened to me. That's happened to me.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's happened to me.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's happened to me.
So
it's weird. That's weird too.
Not to that extent, not that intrusive, but just, in conversation, in passing, word of mouth is the biggest marketer that you can pretty much have, because reputation travels faster in and out of rooms than you can ever get to physically. So, I've had coworkers, I've had supervisors, I've had people reach out to me I've had people reach out to me and ask me, have I heard of our podcast? They didn't know it was my show. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I listen to these dudes, they funny, this and that, and they played me a clip. I'm like, bro, that's me. This was before we had the YouTube going. Bro, That's me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So don't be afraid to try stuff. Don't be afraid to, you never know who you're talking to. You could be on a train, you could be in an airport, you could be in a laundromat and not know that the person sitting next to you to the right of you has similar interests or is looking for information. And corporate ish is one of those things where, from interviewing to negotiating salaries to managing your money to creating a portfolio to basically protecting your chicken. It's a podcast about protecting your chicken. And who out here don't need more money, or who out here doesn't need to know how to manage money? Everybody.
Right.
So why not subscribe to it? So there go your
Check it out, man.
There go your free promo, bro. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that gets you a few more spins, dog.
Corporate itch. And one last thing, Martell, you providing content that people one thing that's never gonna go out of style is providing stuff that people need. You're providing information that people can take and actually go use in their everyday life. And as long as you provide information, bro, and you continue to bring people on to provide more information, you only gonna go up. So Go listen to Corporate-ish.
Straight
like
up
Blackish,
and down.
Corporate-ish.
Straight up and down. We appreciate y'all tapping in each and every time we do it. Rate, review, and subscribe. Rate, review, and subscribe. We everywhere that podcasts live. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, all of that. You ain't got no excuse no more. Hit us up in the mailbag. Shout out to Martell for the question. Make sure y'all tap into the socials. Instagram, Twitter. It's all the same. The Hitmen Podcast, at the Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Mo_Sal1. Don't ever forget.
What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
Episode 51, we gone. Holla.